Okay, so welcome back from fall break. Before fall break, we started talking about the quantum mechanics model of the atom. So we defined what a principal energy level was. That was just the energy levels that you would find in an atom, and there's 7 of those. We defined sublevels. Within the principal energy levels, there are sections within the energy level that will find the electrons. Those sections are sublevels are called S, P, D, and F. The orbitals are the paths that the electrons follow in each one of those sublevels, the trails they have left behind. So scientists have studied this, and for S, they're spherical. For P, they're kind of dumbbell shaped. For D, they kind of look like clover leaves, and then you've got the dumbbell shape for one with like a swim ring looking item around it. So for each one of the sublevels, there are different numbers of orbitals. In the S sublevel, there is 1 orbital. For the P, there's 3 orbitals. For D, there are 5 orbitals. For F, there are 7 orbitals. So those are the different paths. Also, once we get past element number 18, which is argon, Bohr's model does not work, and so we have to follow a new path, and that's what we're using the quantum mechanics model for. So you can still draw Bohr models using the quantum mechanics model of the atom. So what do you need to know in order to draw orbital notations? Write electron configurations and use the shorthand noble gas configurations. Those are 3 things that we're going to learn how to do tomorrow. And the first thing that you have to just flat out memorize is the order of the sublevels, S, P, D, and F. You also need to know the number of sublevels in each principal energy level. So if you're in the first energy level, there's 1 sublevel. If you are in the second energy level, there's 2 sublevels. If you're in the third energy level, there are 3 sublevels. For the fourth, there are 4. For the fifth, theoretically, there are 5. For the 6, there are theoretically 6, and for 7, there are theoretically 7. We won't need all of those, and we'll get to that later. So the energy level that you're on tells you how many different sublevels are there. The other thing that you need to memorize is that each sublevel has a certain number of orbitals, which I just went over just a minute ago. Each orbital can only hold 2 electrons, and we're going to represent electrons when drawing orbital notations with arrows. So you will always have, when you draw the arrows in an orbital, you will always draw an arrow up representing a positive spin before you add a negative spinning electron. So those are the things that you must memorize in order to do this. In your ISN, you should have all that information that says memorize on a little sheet of paper and glued. That should be glued in. Now, if you didn't cut your sheet that had the triangle apart, then that's all on one sheet. But you need to memorize this bottom section. All right, so as you can see, that is all for this little video. Thanks, and get to memorizing that information for tomorrow's class.